Hello, everyone. I can tell that spring is here and everybody's outside because otherwise there's a lineup here waiting for me to get on. For those of you newly joining me, hi, I'm Kathy, a Northstar Prepsteader here in West Central Minnesota. And yay, I already have a thumbs up and nobody's shown up on my chat yet, but I know you guys are here. So I've got 3 on. Awesome. So hope you're doing well tonight. It is a beautiful day here in Minnesota. It hit 60 degrees here today, so and sunny. It's beautiful, very, very beautiful. So yeah, give me a shout out to see if you're here. Say hi or anything. Really, really appreciate that. Can you guys hear me okay? I think so. My microphone's going well, so. Hey, Alicia. Good evening to you. How was your day? Thank you for being here. You're a dedicated person here. I really appreciate that. Here right now. Well, it's just you and me. Oh, and Caitlin. Hello, Caitlin. How are you tonight? Did you guys get more snow this weekend? That's good. Glad you're doing well. Glad you are doing well. Hey, we got a private chat here between us. This is pretty cool. So what is the weather like, your ground like, all this kind of stuff? So do you have snow? Are things starting to spring up? Are things growing? Because I think we're about I think we're about the same latitude, if I remember correctly. So we should be very, very similar. Although you're closer to the ocean, so it makes a little bit difference in what zone you are. So I already have tulips coming up. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, Cecilia, how are you doing? Well, hello, Miss Lippy. Thank you so much for being here. Arkansas Woodcutter, hi, Mark. All right, we're starting to roll in a little bit. I wonder if the notice didn't get out in time. It was for a while. We had our couple of minutes, right? Judy, hello. Were you outside today? Oh, you guys, it was so beautiful. Just sunny, not a cloud in the sky, 60, a little bit of a breeze. I was raking, I was all kinds of stuff. Hey, Howie, thanks for being here. We have the East Coast and the West Coast. And the neighbors to the north and neighbors from the other side of the world. Hello, Josh, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you for a while, so good to see you. I know you've been busy. My snow is almost completely gone. I didn't check it. It might have already totally disappeared today. Anything that was left would have been just very, very small piles, like in shadows and that type of thing. So we did need the sun, Judy. Oh my goodness, it was so good. So I was raking, I was outside, and it was like, it was so good. I'm probably a little bit sunburned, but it's all good. Lots of rain there. We're supposed to start getting rain Wednesday and Thursday, and then snow again on Friday. But we'll see. Maybe it'll warm up enough where it'll just be rain. But even if it comes back, it'll disappear in a day or two. Oh, that's awesome, Miss Lippy. Yes, it does take a while to build back up. Absolutely. I'm so glad the fever's gone. Hello, Southern Ohio Prepping. Yes. Money Pit Homestead, hello from Kentucky. Awesome. The last video with the machines. Oh, are you talking about the machines? Is it my Berkey? Oh, you're not talking to me. I get it. Oh, Eli, hello. I could say, hey, handsome, but I don't know what you look like. Oh, Annalise, Natalie, hello, thank you. You're in northern Minnesota. Well, okay, you still have a lot of snow in the yard. Well, you guys got more snow last week. We didn't. Where I am at, and Judy also here on the chat, we've been kind of missing that. It's been going south of us and then north of us and that kind of thing. So it's been kind of crazy, but yeah, we've been missing it here. So we did get some rain. Hi, Mims. Aw, thank you. Yes, you have to be out in the garden when you can. Absolutely. Thank you, Caitlin. I appreciate that. Hey, Katie. Hello. Bonnie. Hi. He doesn't have to, Alicia. That's fine. Who do we have? Copper Kettle Farms. Hello. Thank you for being here. You know, I don't even have you on my list. I don't remember what your name is. I'm so sorry. And I just printed out a brand new list. Look at you guys. Look at all of these. I'm trying to memorize them. What else do we have? No problem, Alicia. Yes, Miss Lippy is feeling better, you guys. Oh, Crystal, there we go. I knew I was supposed to know it here before. Hey, Leanna, how are you? Yes, we need to give like clapping or thumbs up or hugs or whatever to Gemini Homestead because Miss Lippy is on here and she's fever free and we just have to keep praying for her. So yes, Miss Lippy, it is. Oh, because I love how you speak of yourself in third person too. It's funny. It's great. So, well, that's good. I'm glad you're here, Leanna, and you're doing well. Were you outside today? It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey, Teresa. Yes, we're also glad Miss Lippy's better. Grandma Karen's here. Did I miss you? Oh, I'm sorry. Hello. How are you doing today? And your arm? You marked your cast. We're hooked now. Oh, funny. Is your arm healing, Grammy Karen? So pecking keys with one hand. Oh. Luckily, the only time I was in a cast for my wrist, it was pre-computer days, so I didn't have to worry about trying to type like that, I think. I don't know, I don't remember. Arm is slowly healing. Oh. I gotta write this down before I forget. Okay. So tell me about your area of the country. What are you guys doing? Are you tucked in because of rain and snow, or are you outside gardening? Well, I know Mimsy's gardening. Oh, that's neat, Eli. That's great. You're welcome. Hey, Christy, how are you doing? Made your first batch of potato soup today. Your first batch of oatmeal cookies ever? Okay. I know that cleanup is a pain, isn't it? Yeah, Dave, I know you're stuck inside there. So 3 years with a broken arm. Oh my goodness. Oh, Cecilia. And they can't do anything with that? I like that type of scare tissue. That's about right. Mark, you getting ready for rabbits. Awesome. It's melting here. Oh, you have mostly frozen snow and mud. You still have snow. Okay, I think the last of mine melted today. So we hit 60 degrees. I was out raking, getting outside, so it was really fun. It's very good. Chilly, sunny day. You sold one of your Great Pyrenees. Oh, that's hard. You did grocery pickup. Okay. I know. It's amazing how just 2 hours north can make such a difference, right? And so, yeah, it was. I actually went and talked to a neighbor today. So, stayed about 20 feet away, but it was just when we were outside. But he was out raking too, and so just wanted to check in with the neighbor, see how things were going, and he's well stocked, which is good. That's nice. So that's something you guys need to always remember is like connect with your neighbors to make sure that things aren't coming back on you in that way. So, oh, Eli, I've got a lot too. I haven't hunted any yet. This year may be a different story. But yes, the house did sell, and I have not talked with them yet, but they've been cleaning up the place a little bit and cleaning up the yard, cutting some branches up and stacking wood and stuff. So they're working on it, which is nice. I would have hated to see it sell and just sit there, which happens a lot in this town. So, but so Money Pit, you started more seeds today. Awesome. Make it worse if they put a plate on it. You might lose. Oh, wow. Cecilia, I'm so sorry. That's hard. Gail, I know. I totally understand. All my grandkids are in Pennsylvania, or both of them. And I haven't seen them for a long time. And it's hard. It is hard not to be able to wrap your arms around them. Did a barbecue yesterday and last weekend. Awesome. Chickadees in your backyard. The birds were crazy out there today. They were just like going nuts. So yes. I think that's a good idea, Eli. I need to do that. I gave what did I have? Oh my goodness, it was one of my grandpa's rifles. It was a Remington. It was not a 30-06. It was a one lower than that. I think it was a 318. Is that a particular one? But anyway, I hadn't used it for years, and so I gave it to one of my brothers who would be able to use it and have more use for it. So I don't have anything, but an air one sounds really, really good. Oh, Miss Libby, I know. Are they close by so that you can see them when you get well? Or all of yours live 6 miles away and you don't see them enough? I know. It is hard. Yes, I think for today was like the first day I was really starting to feel, and it's so strange because I was outside, but starting to feel it's the solitude, I guess you could say. I've been self-isolating for Wednesday will be 4 weeks, and that's been a long time. If I didn't have you guys here, I would probably be going crazy. So, but I'm trying my best to stay away from things, stay healthy. That's okay, Julie. Hi, a 308. There we go. Thank you. But yeah, I had that. It was my grandpa's. It was a beautiful, beautiful Remington, and I just wanted to make sure it got used. and I wasn't in an area and position at that point to be able to use it. So I gave it to somebody who could. Oh, thanks so much, Mark. I really appreciate that. I wish I could see all of you at this point too, not to see your words, but actually see you and be able to interact that way. But anyway, it's draw her a picture of some birds. There you go. Absolutely. So today I actually canned up bratwurst. So I have some jars of brats, some bratwurst. I have, one of the things that I have on my list for you guys to really start thinking about doing is to start going through your freezer and seeing what you can so that you can make room for all the stuff that's going to come out of your garden. And oh, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. So yeah, it's been kind of fun. So yeah, the brats, I first did them in a skillet on the stove, covered in everything. And normally with brats, you have water in the pan and you kind of half boil, half cook them and fry them, that type of thing. So I did them until they were good and firm and had some nice little browning to them and everything. And then let them cool down a bit, so when I cut them, it was fine. But I cut them in thirds, and I got 3 jars out of 2 pounds. And the liquid, I used the leftover sauce or whatever you want to call it, but the juices from the brats in the pan, and I mixed that with water and then poured that into the jars, and that was my juicing stuff. And so I got some brats all canned up, which is like, they smelled really good. But I wanted to make sure that I could do that. What are you doing, Cecilia? You don't want to see how I look long hair in a bun. So you guys feel safe having just the chat, not the visual. I get it. So yeah, brats over a fire. Doesn't that sound good? But so I don't have a way to cook them over a fire right now. That's one of my projects for the summer, is to work on my outdoor fireplace, fire pit type of thing. And so anyway, yeah, that's the one thing that I did that was like among all of my other duties today. But it was kind of fun. I'd never canned brats before. So anyway, when you cook them up like that and you cut them up, they what time is dinner? Probably after my live. You're welcome to come over. Oh, Mims, I know we all do that. That's what Marco Polo does. It catches us at our worst, right? So yeah, it was. Oh, you want to make sure that they're cooked ahead of time though, because sausage will break apart and kind of fall apart when you can it. So yeah, so I had never done it before. Otherwise, I would have filmed it. I don't like filming stuff that I haven't done yet. And Paul, hello. It's been a while. Thank you for showing up. I mean that positively, not like where have you been? But thanks for being here. You need someone to point you in a direction for a new canner. Your big water bath got a small pinhole last year. Any suggestions? Now, water bath canning, you can even use like a big stock pot. You just have to have something on the bottom to raise them off the jars, so that they're not right on the bottom of the pot. But if you have like a 10-quart stock pot or something, you can use that. Otherwise, yeah, water bath canning, it's easy to get a pot. But are you talking about pressure canning, or do you want just another water bath? You really need to have both, actually. So I've got my window open a little bit, and I can hear the birds out there doing their spring songs. It's like, oh, so beautiful. Facebook Marketplace, excellent. Great idea. Absolutely. I would go over to Sutton's Days and to her channel, and she is like the queen of pressure canners, and she says that absolutely do not, you know, buy a good one, but buy it used, and you can find them all over the place. Um, Katie canned breakfast patties with water. It turned out great. Okay. Yep. Anything with sausage or ground beef or anything like that, you have to form it and cook it ahead of time. Like meatballs, you can do meatballs. So, you had bird feed, just put in the backyard for the birds. Okay. I'm going to get to my list, or I'm going to be out of things. So, thanks, Mims. We've been kind of missed, so it's not too muddy. Things have been thawing out, and I was actually able to rake today and get outside. So, all right. So again, with our isolation, even though we're homebound, you know, we need to live each day fully as much as we can. We need to reach out to people, connect by phone, especially those who are elderly and around. I think that's really, really important. All but one duck went to the pen, one is refusing to go. Oh, hey, Kiri, hi, thanks for coming. Chrissy, you have a small Presto. Yep. You know, it doesn't have to be an all-American. The cheaper canners, I'd say the less expensive canners can do a good job too. You raw pack pork, as Chris did on video. Yep. I did that with some pork chops. I actually cut them in kind of strips, big chunks for pork chops, and I canned those. So, yep, that works out really good. Dab's Way, I did season it up as I was cooking the brats, and then that's why I used the juices from what I was cooking, because it was very seasoned up, and put that in the jars and added water to that, and then I added a little more seasoning to it also. So it was really good. But meat does not go in a water bath canner. It has to be in a pressure canner. Even if it's cooked all the way through, it still has to be pressure canned. An hour and 15 minutes for pints and an hour and a half for quarts. So it's really, really important. So Alicia, I forgot what I asked you. I'm sorry, because of this delay. So yeah, some of the meat, like your roast or beef and chicken, I don't season up much more than just putting salt to it, a little bit of salt, but because I never know what it's going to go into. But these brats, I did season up pretty good so that they're all ready to go. Yes, you have to pressure can the meat, and not just pressure cooking it. You have to pressure can it. It's a difference. Thanks, Karen. That's awesome, Deb's Way. That's great. No, Alicia, you were answering. You said yes, we do, Kathy, and I was like, I didn't know what I said to do that. All right, so definitely reach out to people. All right, so some of the things that you can do during this time, other than you know, all this. There's so many people that are just like, I'm at home, I don't have anything to do, I'm so bored out of my tree, and I'm looking around and like, I have so much to do. And I think it's because I'm used to being home, I'm used to working at home, and spring is here and there's just so much to get done. Not only that, a few of my clients are like going crazy. Like, it's like shifting things in their business to be all online. So that's really creating a lot of extra effort for me. Oh, Paul, I'm sorry. Scott, you're here. Thank you for coming. That I can believe, Eli. Yes. Especially when you're one that does not eat rabbit food. Hey, Patty, how are you doing? Thank you, guys. Thank you. Everybody's saying hi. That's awesome. Okay, some of the things then to do at home, obviously the little stuff like read a book, do that things. But I want you to learn some new recipes, just with simple ingredients that you have. Nothing that would be like unusual stuff that, oh man, I have to get this from the store or that from the store. But look for things with simple recipes. And I think you'd have to go back to some of the older cookbooks, like Fannie Farmer, some of the old Betty Crocker cookbooks, different things like that. So, yes, we are all blessed. You got to try and eat, rest soon. Okay, bye, Miss Lippy. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate that. You take care of yourself. There you go. Good idea. Good idea. Dave said that if you don't have any soap, you got Heaven's Essentials. Julie makes soap. I know that there are others out there who make soap too, but Julie's one of my mods, and so it'd be great to help her out there. All right. So yeah, learn the recipes with simple ingredients. Study up on natural remedies. It's like, okay, I know I've brought some things out before about like how to make your own vitamin C tablets or pills or something like that. So just do the research and figure that out. And there's a lot of things that you can make that those ingredients are not going. They're not flying off the shelf. They're not. Amazon still has them. They're not yanking up the price on them. All that kind of stuff. So yes, Mimsy, her soap is off the chain. Absolutely. So start researching that. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of ebooks that you can get with that. Those of you who already are into summer or spring and things are growing like crazy, forage your yard. Look through your yard. Go through and check out all the weeds. Don't just mow it all down, but start looking at your weeds. Identify them. Kent Rollins, I'm not familiar with him. I'll have to check that out. Thank you. Kent, is it a website or a channel? So I'll have to check that out. But yes, different remedies. So forage your yard. Look at all the weeds. Identify them. Do make sure you have a good book for identifying the weeds because you don't want to get the wrong things. But yes, dandelions, excellent. Make sure that they haven't been sprayed, especially if they're close to a roadway or something. You just don't want them sprayed or a lot of chemicals on them or something like that. Hey, Grandpa's Farm. Hi. Thanks for coming. The different weeds that you can make things out of, because there's a lot of things that are medicinal. Sorry. There we go. A lot of things are medicinal out there in your yard that you would never, ever think of. And so it's really, really helpful. Really good. All right. I have some more things, but who's ready for a Sven and Oli story? Oh, hey, Jim. How are you doing? Grandpa's Farm. I'm doing fine. So, yes, dandelions are excellent. Absolutely. So, Patty, you have henbit, purple dead nettle, and violets, and a few dandelions. That's awesome. And start writing that all down and check all that out. So, okay. For anybody who doesn't know, Sven and Oli are jokes that are popular in the upper Midwest, especially in Minnesota and other regions settled by Scandinavians. Scandinavians are generally Norwegians or Swedes from Sweden. So Sven and Oli are a couple of old farmers, and they aren't too bright. What does that look for, Scott? Oh, that's good, Patty. That's great. Yep, love what, or learn what you have in your stuff. So, if you're Swedish, Sven and Oli are Norwegian, and if you're Norwegian, well, then they're Swedish. Don't you know? So, anyway, these are not to make fun of Norwegians or Swedes in any way. This is just kind of an old cultural thing in this area. So, you guys duke it out. All right. So first little, they're kind of like halfway between stories and jokes, kind of, but anyway. So Sven and Oli are up fixing the roof. Sven picks up a nail, looks at it, and throws it away. He picks up the next one, looks at it, hammers it into the roof. The next one, he hammers that one in. And then the next one, he throws it away. Oli says, Sven, why do you throw away half the nails? Sven says, Oli, don't you see? They have the point on the wrong end. Oli says, well, Sven, don't be such a dummy. Those are for the other side of the roof. So, all right. Yes, it makes, and I tell you what, the Swedes and the Norwegians are like some of the biggest ones. So, yep, sure, yeah, sure, you betcha. So, okay. So, yes, forage your yard for weeds and identify them so that you know what you have and what you can use. You'll be amazed. And the other thing is to figure out what kind of trees you have. Identify them. I'm glad we have lots of laughing faces. That's good. Want to get some lighter side here with you guys. All right, so the trees in your yard, identify them if they're elm or birch or maple or ash or different kinds of pine trees, conifers, and whatever you have, and then study and figure out what benefits those trees can provide for you, whether it's in the way of sap or bark or spruce tips or buds or different things like that. It's like, okay, what would make really good, if a tree is dying, what would make better wood for a fireplace than not? Some of the trees you need to get the inner bark out to make a medicinal out of. So there's a lot of trees out there that can do more than just give you shade and wood. So so work on that, and especially this time as things are coming out. Here we have at least another month before our trees will start leafing. So, if you don't know what kind of trees you have, anyway. Okay, another thing is, if you're stuck at home, develop an exercise regimen. You can dance, do sit-ups, running up and down the stairs if you have stairs, lifting your 50-pound bag of beans, to go downstairs or something and just lift those up and down, whatever. So when you're stuck at home, don't just sit and let yourself, go to pot and atrophy. So anyway, means another month more for you. Yeah, usually, oh man, it's the 30th today. So it'll be at least 6 weeks before we start leafing out as a general rule here yet. So yeah, middle of May, fully leafed out by the 3rd week in May. All right. This is something for those of you who have family members. Oh, hey, Patty. Oh, that's awesome. You can go back and listen to it again. A bean bench press video. Oh, that'd be funny. Oh, that's great. But yeah, do something. There's and I don't even know what town it was in or what city, but there was like a fitness instructor that was, oh, there you go. Absolutely, livestock equals exercise. Yep. You can, wrestle your cow, whatever it is. So, Gail, you've been making vinegars flower, more teachers. Awesome. You'll see all these things that we're not out running and everywhere, and we're not into the middle of summer with all the gardening and outside stuff. It's perfect at this point to start making all those things that you can. All right. But anyway, there was this fitness instructor who was stuck in his apartment building, and he actually went out on the balcony of his apartment, and there were other people out in other buildings around in their balconies, and yeah, there are a lot of videos out there. Okay, so yeah, learn another language. Exactly, stay in shape, because once we get outside and start working, otherwise, there'll be a lot of back problems and muscle problems. So anyway, this guy was out on his balcony doing teaching fitness classes to other people that were on their balconies. So it was just something to connect with neighbors, for him to be able to do that. So even in an apartment situation in the city, you can still do something. If you have other people in your home, family members and everything, actually make a one-on-one appointment with them, just to have a single one-on-one time. Because if you're all together all the time as a group and everything, it's great and all that stuff, but I think it would be good to change it up a little bit. Have, and make the appointment to say, hey, tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, you and I are having some one-on-one time. And whether it's sitting down and reading a story with your kids, or just having a cup of coffee with your teenager, or whatever it is. So, well, there you go, Scott. You got it. So, yes, house cleaning is a great workout. Absolutely. One of some of the cleanest houses in America right now. So we should anyway. I hear you, Gail. What else do we have? Thank you, Cecilia. Learn some new card games. So you've got your deck of cards. Just get, you might know 4 or 5 or something, but learn some new games. Inventory all your scrap wood and materials, and then sort them and organize it, so that when you have your projects that come up, you know exactly where everything is. So, and I know that all the homesteaders who have any type of land or property, that you guys have junk piles of wood and stuff like that and scraps. So planting is therapeutic. Yes, it is. Oh, anyway, okay, another Sven and Oli story. Oli hears that Sven just bought a new truck, so he goes over to take a look at it. When he gets there, he sees dents all over the truck, and Sven sitting in the driveway behind the truck. He's like confused. Oli says, "Sven, why did you buy a truck with dents?" Sven says, "Oh, I made a real good deal. It got dented in a hailstorm, so the salesman gave me $50 off the price. And he said, all I have to do is blow on the tailpipe, and those vents will pop right out. But I've been sitting here blowing on this tailpipe for 2 hours now, and I don't think it's working." Oli says, "Sven, don't be such a dummy. You have to close the windows first." So there's another one. All right. Your overplanting is keeping poor boy alive. I like that. Oh, yes. Try to find things to keep each other busy, right? Oh, that's excellent. That's great. Okay, so you guys like that one. All right, I'm going to do another one here. Awesome. Oh, thank you. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Ollie and Sven die in a snowmobiling accident, drunker than skunks, and go to hell. The devil observes that they are really enjoying themselves. He says to them, "Doesn't the heat and smoke bother you?" Ollie replies, "Well, you know, we're from northern Minnesota, the land of snow and ice, and we're just happy for a chance to warm up a little bit, you know." The devil decides that these two aren't miserable enough and turns up the heat even more. When he returns to the room of the two from Minnesota, the devil finds them in light jackets and hats, grilling walleye and drinking beer. The devil is astonished and exclaims, "Everyone down here is in misery, and you two seem to be enjoying yourselves." Sven replies, "Well, you know, we don't get too much warm weather up there at the falls. So we just so we just got to have a fish fry when the weather is nice." I'm trying to do this language is funny. The devil is absolutely furious. He can hardly see straight. Finally, he comes up with the answer. The two guys love the heat because they have been cold all their lives. The devil decides to turn all the heat off in hell. The next morning, the temperature is 60 degrees below zero. Icicles are hanging everywhere, and people are shivering so bad that they are unable to wail, moan, or gnash their teeth. The devil smiles and heads for the room with Oli and Sven. He gets there and finds them back in their parkas, bomber hats, and mittens. They are jumping up and down, cheering, yelling, and screaming like madmen. The devil is dumbfounded. "I don't understand. When I turn up the heat, you're happy. Now it's freezing cold and you're still happy. What is wrong with you two?" They both look at the devil in surprise and say, "Well, don't you know? If hell is froze over, that must mean the Vikings won the Super Bowl." Okay. Oh, thanks, Bonnie. I read through these a number of times to try to keep me on track here. You're gonna live forever, St. Peter won't leave past me. Oh, I doubt that. That was bad, yes. Oh, hi, Connie. I didn't get to see you come in before. Yep. Oh, I'm glad you guys are laughing. That's good. Why do Swedes always drink their milk in the store? Because on the pack it says "open here." That's good, Alicia. That's good. Crikey. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Vikings win the Super Bowl. I know. The poor Vikings. We've been there so many times. I just haven't been able to pull it out. So yeah, when hell freezes over, the Vikings win the Super Bowl. Exactly. All right. Okay. Before I get on to the next one, when you guys are planting and planning your gardens and stuff, and I'm going to have to do some thinking again with everything that's going on, but if possible, try to increase your growing area and the number of plants that you're doing. Oh, good, Cecilia. You're welcome. Swedish humor. There's a good amount online that you can find, absolutely. And then have the extra to either preserve or to give to neighbors and family and friends and stuff, but to share with others. So I think it's at the time now everybody's gonna, a lot of channels I know, they're gardening, they're actually expanding more. And so, if we have leftovers at the end of the year, share it. So that'd be good. All right. Ollie and Sven grabbed their poles and headed out to do some ice fishing. as they were augering a hole. And all of you, if you've seen my, thanks, Eli. If you know what an ice auger is, I did my video a few weeks ago on that. But it's a machine that like a big screw that drills a hole in the ice so that you can get through the ice to fish. So as they were augering a hole in the ice, they heard a loud voice from above say, "There are no fish under the ice." Ole and Sven moved about 25 feet over then and started to make another hole. The voice said a little stronger, "There are no fish under the ice." They both looked around and then looked up. Ole said in a humble voice, "Are you God?" The voice spoke back, "No, you idiots, I'm the ice rink attendant." So anyway, they were trying to ice fish on an ice rink. There's only dirt below it. So what have you guys, everyone should plant a victory garden. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Scott. Oh, I appreciate that. You guys, I am just like so close to getting monetized. So anyway. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh, our prep tip for tonight, and then I'll get to another story. I think I probably already said this one at the beginning, but I'll say it again. To preserve items that are in your freezer, start going through your freezer if there's like older meat in there, even older vegetables if you can preserve them, you know. So, Scott, you're so sweet. Thank you. You know, and if you have bags of tomatoes left there from last year, turn them into sauce, get them frozen up, but start making room in your freezer for the stuff that's coming this summer. All right, I think, did I cover everything? Okay. Okay. Oh, a Minnesota farmer named Sven had a car accident. He was hit by a truck owned by the Ajax Company. In court, the Ajax Company's hotshot attorney questioned him like this. "Didn't you say to the state trooper at the scene of the accident, 'I'm fine'?" Sven responded, "Well, I'll tell you what happened there. I just loaded my favorite cow, Bessie, into the..." "I didn't ask for any details," the lawyer interrupted. "Just answer the question. Did you not say at the scene of the accident, 'I'm fine'?" Sven said, "Well, I just got Bessie into the trailer and I was driving down the road." The lawyer interrupted again and said, "Your Honor, I'm trying to establish the fact that at the scene of the accident, this man told the police on the scene that he was fine. Now, several weeks after the accident, he's trying to sue my client. I believe he is a fraud. Please tell him to simply answer the question." Well, by this time, the judge was fairly interested in Sven's answer and said to the attorney, "I'd like to hear what he has to say about his favorite cow, Bessie." Sorry. Sven said, "Thank you," and proceeded. "Well, as I was saying, I just loaded Bessie, my favorite cow, into the trailer. And I was driving her down the road when this huge Ajax truck and trailer came thundering through a stop sign and hit me trailer right in the side, by golly. I was thrown into one ditch and Bessie was thrown in the other ditch. By Yemeni, I was hurt pretty darn bad and I didn't want to move. And even worse than that, I could hear old Bessie a moaning and a groaning. I knew she was in terrible pain, just by her groans. Shortly after the accident, a policeman on a motorbike turned up. He could hear Bessie a moaning and a groaning too, so he bent over to her. After he looked at her and saw her condition, He took out his gun and shot her right between the eyes. Then the policeman came across the road, gun still in hand, looked at me and said, "How are you feeling?" Now, what would you say? It's like, I'd say I'm fine. Don't shoot me between the eyes. Yes. Oh. Okay. Has anybody here had lutefisk? I'd like to see some hands up if you have, or if you even know what it is. Oh, I know. Poor guy. I'm glad you like the story, guys. I got a little bit behind here. Oh, it would be a big deal. You send me the bill to clean your keyboard. Well, you shouldn't be drinking while I'm saying these things, right? Thanks, Cecilia. All right. Where are we here with everybody? Smelly rotten fish. Yes, it is horrible. I'm fine, officer. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I would say. Good, Leanna. I'm glad you've never tried it. Lutefisk. Who? Is it like Candida fish? Lutefisk. It's L-U-D. Oh, there you go. Deb's right. Lutefisk. Lutefisk. And anyway, it's go to Wikipedia if you want, but it's oh goodness sakes. Did I have that up here before? Lutefisk. It's a Norwegian dish, sometimes Swedish too, but lutefisk or lutefisk. So lutefisk is dried white fish, normally cod. The cod makes it the stinky stuff. You want trolls? I don't want any trolls. So, but you can use haddock or some of the other kind of whitefish. But anyway, it's a whitefish. Cod is the typical one. And get this, soap makers, is treated with lye. And apparently the best lye for that comes from birch trees. So, oh, bye, Anna. Sorry I missed you. So anyway, birch is apparently the best thing for the birch lye for this. So anyway, it's like a 2-week process for this fish. So the first step is soaking the whitefish in cold water for 5 to 6 days. And then you change the water every day. And then you soak it in a solution of cold water and lye for another 2 days. Hey, Living Miracle Homestead, hello. Thanks for coming in. I know exactly, Scott. It's horrible. And then the fish swells during all the soaking, and its protein content decreases by more than 50%. So there's like really no value to this at all, and produces like a jelly-like consistency. So essentially, it's like decomposed into a gelatinous mess here. So when this treatment is finished, the fish, which is saturated with lye, is inedible. The pH is at 11 to 12. So to make the fish edible, a final treatment of yet another 4 to 6 days of soaking in cold water is needed. So eventually it's ready to be cooked. So you need to cook it very, very carefully so it doesn't fall to pieces, because it is like so done that anyway. So they cook it, and a lot of times parboiling it or different things like that. And Um, so when cooking and eating lutefisk, Scott, I feel the same way with all those green things. Yep. Julie, yes, I'd rather eat dirt too. Pickled herring is a totally different thing, but this is lutefisk. Bonnie, you guys eat it every year? Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, you'll have to put up with this because it's good with white sauce. Well, that's what they do. So they eat it with a white sauce, a creamy type of sauce that kind of tries to mask the flavor and the smell. But it smells horrible as they're cooking it and doing all that. So anyway, it says it's important to clean the lutefisk and its residue off of pans, plates, and utensils immediately. Otherwise, it becomes impossible to remove and it ends up corroding everything. So it gives you an idea how potent it is. So here's kind of a parody, kind of a spoofy poem on 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So it's all about lutefisk. So I need a drink of water. I didn't know this, Scott. Oh, that's great. Oh, no, Julie, you said it. Laundry soap has a pH of 10 to 12. Yes. So here they're eating it. Okay. 'Twas the night before Christmas with things all a hustle as Mama got set for the Christmas Eve tussle. Aunts, uncles, and cousins were all coming here to fill up their stomachs with Christmas Eve cheer. I sat alone with a feeling of dread as visions of lutefisk danced in my head. The thought of the smell made my eyeballs start burning. The thought of the taste set my stomach to churning. For I'm one of those who Norwegians rebuff, a Scandinavian boy who can't stand the stuff. Each year, however, I play at the game to spare Mama and Papa the undying shame. I must bear up bravely. I can't take the risk of relatives knowing I hate lutefisk. I know they would spurn me, my presence withhold, if the unthinkable, unspeakable truth they were told. Soon from the kitchen an odor came stealing, an odor that set my senses to reeling. The smell of lutefisk crept down the hall and wilted a plant in a pot on the wall. This is starting to sound like a Dr. Seuss thing. The others reacted as though they were smitten, while the aroma laid low my small helpless kitten. Uncle Oscar and Lars said, "Oh, that smells yummy," while Aunt Olga just beamed as she patted her tummy. The scent skipped off the ceiling as it came through the door, and the bird in the cuckoo clock fell on the floor. Mama announced dinner by ringing a bell, and they rushed to the table with a whoop and a yell. I'm gonna have to go back and read this chat. You guys are having a good time here. I lifted my eyes to heaven and sighed, and a rose on the wallpaper withered and died. With unhurried pace, I went to my chair and sat down in silence with an unseeing stare. Most of the food was already in place. There only remained the lutefisk space. Then in it came. You could just hear the drools. You would think that the bowl held Norway's crown jewels. Then Mama lifted the cover on that steaming dish, and I was face to face with that quivering fish. "Me first," I heard Uncle Sven call, while I watched the paint as it peeled from the wall. The plates were passed for Papa to fill. I waited in agony between fever and chill. He would dip in the spoon and hold it up high. It oozed on the plates. I thought I would die. Then came my plate, and to my fevered brain, there seemed enough lutefisk to derail a train. It looked like a mountain of congealing glue, oddly transparent, yet discolored in hue. With butter and cream sauce, I tried to conceal it, but wouldn't you know, the smell would reveal it. I drummed up my courage, I tried to be bold, Mama said, eat it before it gets cold. I decided to try it. Oofta, I sighed. Oofta indeed, my stomach replied. Then I summoned that courage for which Norskis are known. My hand took the fork with a mind of its own. With reckless abandon, that lutefisk I ate. Within 20 seconds, I cleaned up the plate. While Uncle Oscar then flashed me an ear-to-ear grin, while butter and cream sauce dripped from his chin. Then to my surprise, he said in my ear, I'm sure glad that's done for another year. It was then that I learned a wonderful truth, that Swedes and Norwegians, from young men to youth, must each pay their dues to have the great joy of being known as a good Scandinavian boy. And so to you all, as you face the test, happy smorgasbord to you, and to you all my best. So there you guys go. There were a few more, but we're run out of time. So, I miss a whole bunch here. So I know the poor bird and Rose. I can't talk anymore. You guys, I just thank you so much. I just wanted this to be a little lighter night tonight, and with everything that's going on, and Sven and Oli's stories are always so good, no jokes. So Alicia, I'm glad I gave you a whole new hobby there. So yep, on that note, we are done. There's other lives that are going on now, and I so appreciate all of you guys being here. Thanks to all my mods. I know Grandma Kieran already left and Minzy left, and you guys. Hey, wait a minute, Eli. I like eggnog. How did we get to eggnog here? Oh, I will never eat that fish. Absolutely not. So thanks, Cecilia. I appreciate that. So you guys take care. God bless. Always have hope. And remember that we're always here, everybody. We can connect throughout the week, throughout the day. So I appreciate you all being here. You guys take care. Have a great week. And we will see you next Monday night. And then hopefully sometimes in between on other lives. I'll see you in the chat. So anyway, take care, you guys. All right. Bye-bye.